Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, first of all, let's get a little bit of housekeeping out the way. I am going to be opening this massive box. I know you can't see it right now, but I'll lift it up for you now. Oh, a bit later. And I'll probably do it outside in the glorious sunshine because it is absolutely beautiful out there. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's curiously windy though. I like that. Anyway, so I'll be opening that later, and there'll be lots and lots of goodies in there for us to explore and enjoy. But secondly, that Rambo video which I was mooting about, and people will be like, have I missed that Rambo video? When are you doing this Rambo video? Kilt-Man, did I dream this, or did you say you were doing a video on Rambo? Yeah, and I have to be honest, once again, you know that thing, it can be existential, it can be spiritual, it can be corporeal, it can be very perfectly tangible. Stuff, yes, stuff. It floats around, it gathers up in dust balls, it becomes tripwires and it booby traps you, and everything, all the plans you make, suddenly stuff goes, guess again, I'm going to get in the way of that. And yeah, stuff got in the way. So that Rambo video, this is a kind of highfalutin way of saying like, yeah, it's coming, it's coming. I should not ever publicise something that I'm going to do by telling you guys in advance or saying, oh, the next video is going to be about this. Because you're just making a curse for yourself. You literally are cursing that video never actually happening. So yeah, but Rambo is coming. I am now off work for it seems like a long time. Right now, it seems like a long time, but in a few days' time, it's going to be, oh, I'll be back to work soon. Ah! But yeah, because it's the big birthday celebrations, me and Mrs. Kilt-Man sharing a birthday. I may have mentioned it a couple of times, I don't know. But so the Rambo video will be coming probably this weekend. So anyway, and the rate I'm doing videos now, I'm doing at least one a day. So, you know, quantity might not be quality, but you're certainly going to get some content. And this video today is something which I actually hadn't heard about, and I can't believe I hadn't heard about it, because I'm into all things like this. It is the planets are in alignment. Oh my God. What is it? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. I had to write them down because I forgot the order they came in. They're in alignment. This only ever happens once every 20 odd years. So every 2 decades it happens. And these are all the planets. We're going to be able to see them. Obviously, they're in order away from the sun as well, which is brilliant. And we're going to see them in the lower eastern horizon, half hour before sunrise, throughout June. So it's already happened. You can see this right now. Well, not right now, but half hour before sunrise. You get yourself up. You look, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you cast your eyes, just your naked eyes. That's all you need. So that the lower eastern hemisphere, sort of southeastern you're looking. So for me personally, it's that way. It's right behind your shoulder. Yeah. Don't look now, you can't see it right now. But you're going to see these in a diagonal line, dunk, 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 like that. And at some point throughout June, I think it's June the 24th, the moon is going to get involved as well. You're going to have a lovely crescent moon sitting in this little conveyor belt of celestial splendor. And I love stuff like this, and it's well worth looking out for. I mean, I always watch the meteor showers and shooting stars and stuff like that, asteroids going past. I love all that. And because where we live at the back of the cemetery, Drake Lane Cemetery is just out the back there. You know it, I've talked about it so many times. Well, that's a huge area where there's no light pollution at all. So when you go out at night time or pre-dawn, should you be lurking about in the cemetery just before dawn, why would you be doing that? Going back to your casket perhaps, I don't know. After a night's blood sucking, I don't know. But it's perfect on a good cloudless sky, cloudless night. The heavens, the firmament is just opened up, and it's a huge canvas of just such glory. It's unbelievable. It's like going out to Wales or Mountainside or Scotland or Wyoming, Nebraska. Alaska, wherever you've got wide open spaces and no light pollution, and the sky just opens up and unveils all its beauty for you. Well, that happens here as well. And there's an irony there, because Merseyside, where I live, is actually one of the worst places for light pollution, because even London doesn't have as much, because London's a much bigger sort of area, so it kind of gets diffused a bit more. But round here, because it's so concentrated on both sides of the Mersey, so the Wirral Peninsula where I live, Liverpool over the water, that way. I'm doing a lot of pointing, aren't I? You know, it means nothing to you guys, but it means a lot to me. So at least I know where I am, where I'm situated. It's so tightly concentrated in a smaller area that when seen from, like, they take all pictures to show the light pollution in certain, built up areas, and how concentrated and nasty it really is, because these street lighting should be focused downwards and not upwards, but they still haven't got around to changing all the lights, in the streets. And obviously you've got shops, and you've got, the urban sprawl, and lighting just goes up into the sky, and it will just destroy all the stars and your view of the universe, which is a massive, massive shame. So what I can tell you is, if I look, I'm going to point again, if I look that way towards Liverpool, and sadly that's where I'm going to see this alignment of planets, it's that way. So hopefully it won't be too obscured, but had it been behind me in the cemetery, it would just be lit up like, like something out of Star Trek or Star Wars. It would be incredible. The mothership from Close Encounters, it'd be that bright. But and I've worked out that I should be able to see it as well without having to go down to the front, or go down to Harrison Park, or somewhere where there's no buildings in the way. If we go up to the top, because we've got 2 attics, we've got a loft and an attic in this place, because this place is bloody huge. But if we go up to the attic, which is the front-facing skylight, open that, we should be able to see it. We should be able to see them, in a line. I'd love to film it, but that's just not going to happen, because it's, even though I've got this, all singing, all dancing, highfalutin, fantastic camera phone, yours truly doesn't know how to use it properly. I still haven't learned. I've had it for the best part of a year now, and I still can't use the bastard properly. But I'd love to film it, but that just isn't going to happen. I might take a few pictures though. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. And but you've already got people going, it means the end of the world, it's an alignment. You get all these people, it's the bunch who blur the line between astronomy and astrology, and start reading things into the stars. Mankind's always done that, of course, and there's bits of it I like, bits of it that I embrace, but most of it is, baloney. Because it's our perspective looking up at the heavens and seeing things happen, and then trying to find meanings in it. Like us, the signs of the zodiac, there you go. They're they all, and the constellations, the plough, and all this sort of thing. We just see things that, that looks like a plough, so we'll cut at the plough. But that's only from our angle looking at it. From the other side, or from that way, it's going to look nothing like that at all. So, it's your own sort of visual vocabulary. It's what you associate things with. There is a big word for it, which I have completely forgotten, of course. And I'm not going to try and struggle my way around it. Can't remember what the bloody word is. But it's when you see things and you think, that looks like so-and-so. Like the face on Mars, which, Cydonia or Cydonia. There's a lot of things on Mars. I think I may have discussed some of this before. I may have done, I don't know. But I certainly will again in the future, because I love all this stuff. And there's so many things on Mars which is being obfuscated with NASA's doctoring of photographs. Yeah, I mean, I know. We're not going to go down this rabbit hole right now. But I love all of that. But there's still part of me which, that is not someone sitting on a rock. That is not a mermaid sitting on a rock. There's many images like this. It's not like that at all. If you took it from a different angle and looked at it properly, no, it is just a rock structure. Although there's many that genuinely aren't, that NASA tries to hide and manipulate and lie their way out of, changing the contrast and boosting things up, airbrushing images. They do all that. We know that. Let's not go into that right now. But I'm just saying that this alignment, it's already drawn out a lot of the tinfoil hat wearing brigade. It's the end of the world. Or they're saying it means prosperity. I mean, penny to a pinch of shite, you know, it's one or the other. It's bad news or it's good news. At the moment, we have nothing but bad news. So people would logically cling to this as being, oh, this is a new dawn. That's what it is. It's a new dawn. Things are going to be on the up and up. Prosperity is back in the world. You know, optimism will be back. War will stop. No. Life, the way that we manufacture life these days, and it shows that word carefully, the way that we manufacture lives and society these days, there's nothing up there that's governing it. It's us governing it, and most of us are bastards. The ones who have got the most power, they're the ones who are corrupting it and making it worse for the majority of people. Anyway, I think this should look great. But I don't believe there's any sort of spiritual side to this. I just think it's going to look wonderful. It's just an alignment because of the orbits and the transit of all these galactic bodies. These things will happen from our point of view. You know, at any other time of anywhere else, they're aligned from a different perspective. So it's just. But does that mean something great for them? It's just a coincidental lineup of planetary bodies, but it will look impressive though. That's the thing. So, as you can hear, I have a little playlist of Celestial Weirdness 2001 is playing. Yeah, all that classical weirdness. We have as well. Let's have a look. We've had The Second Coming from The Final Conflict by Jerry Goldsmith, because that has a planetary alignment as well to signify the return of Christ to defeat the Antichrist, Damien, as we know him. And here's Mark Streitenfeld's Earth track from Prometheus. A troubled film, but visually splendid. Cheers, y'all. What else was I going to say about this? Yeah, it's already been on some of the TV programmes in the UK already. You've had astrologers and fortune tellers saying, oh, it means this, it means that. Oh, it's great, it's a wonderful opportunity. This month, because it's visible all this month, but I think the 24th of June is the day when when the moon, I think, creeps in, just at its own cameo guest spot, on the space stage. But all these people are coming on saying, oh, it means this, means that, means whatever, and it got me thinking about fortune tellers and astrology and all that. I've been to a fortune teller when I was in the Marines. Me and a few of the lads went to see a fortune in Bournemouth, believe it or not. Well, why should you not believe it? They can have fortune tellers anywhere. Why would Bournemouth be a particular place? What? A fortune teller in Bournemouth, you say? Pish, tash, tosh, rubbish. We went in there and we had a few drinks, but we weren't drunk. Don't go thinking that. We were not drunk. And she was a very attractive lady as well. She wasn't one of these Blackpool ones, no offence. She was actually very nice. And she was exactly what I hoped she'd look like. She looked a bit like a gypsy Caroline Munro. And I was like, oh, wow. And it was one of these tents, and the crystal ball was there. But there was all loads of stuff and not trophies, like certificates, testimonials and endorsements all around from people who are famous. I can't remember any of them now, but oh, she's wonderful, that she's been on stage and she's met royalty and all that. And anyway, we went in there, and there's about 5 of us, and she went straight away, I will not be reading you to me. I will not be reading you. And I went, rude. Why? Why not? And she just stared at me. She said, can you leave? I'm not reading you. So I was like, oh, great, thanks. She read everybody else. Now, I'm always a bit of a joker. I don't take things seriously. I try not to take things seriously. The serious things in life are bad enough, but if you can find light, a little glimmer of hope, a spark of humour in even the worst of moments and situations, then that can only be a good thing. But I can be a bit of a probably a pain in the ass to some people. I would start laughing and I can't help myself. But I love all this sort of otherworldly stuff. So I was genuinely interested and I wanted my fortune told. But she just, no, I will not be reading you. And I thought, well, is it because she knows I'm a joker, so I'm going to take the piss and won't take anything seriously? Because I genuinely would have done. I would have maybe had a little bit of banter and rapport going on. She was very nice, and maybe that was it. Just didn't want to get involved. Did she know I was married? What might have given that away? But anyway, so they all come out one by one. The lads all come out, and they were all like, some were like, rubbish, didn't really tell us much, but others were kind of like, clearly, how did she know that? How did she know this? How did she know that? And she said, blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't bothered about it. I was like, did she talk about me? Did she say why she wasn't doing me? No. Did you ask why she wasn't going to do a reading for me? Oh, no, forgot. What? I wanted to go back in there. I was like, oh, why? Why not me? Am I the devil? What is it? Is it like in The Wolfman where Bela Lugosi is the fortune teller, called Bela, of course, and he is the initial Wolfman. He puts the bite on Lon Chaney, he turns into a Wolfman himself, the Wolfman. But the Wolfman always sees the sign of the pentagram, well, according to this particular telling of the legend, the sign of the pentagram in the palm of his next victim. And Bela, the fortune teller, sees it in the palm of poor Jenny, who he does kill that night. And I was just thinking, like, did she know something? Did she see some kind of sense of massive foreboding and evil emanating from me? I don't know. Because I didn't have this hair. I had very short hair then. I had a proper boot neck. And so it wasn't like a big gingery aura of just devil may care. So I don't know. I was a bit annoyed by that, to be honest. On a similar topic, I got heavily involved in like Ouija boards and tarot cards when I was a lot younger, and I was going out with a girl who was a hairdresser, beautician, masseur, multi-talented. I can't half pick them, can I? Didn't last long, obviously, but anyway, I was massively into tarot cards at the time, and I had a big deck. I've still got the deck actually. It's actually on the bar in the front room. Oh, should I go and get? What's the point? It's just a bunch of tarot cards, but they are lovely. It's the full, massive, Arcana pack, like, and the huge, not the little 32 or 33 card things, like 77 cards, and a few jokers and a few trump cards as well, but a few limited edition ones. And I was reading up on it, and I got books and books on tarot cards because I just thought I'm intrigued. But as I said, there's a lot of bullshittery about these things. But I like to believe that there's something which can work. I'm always open to these ideas. Always. So I read up on it. And the girl I was seeing said, oh, my mate's massively into this. She always goes to fortune teller, read their fortune for it, do the tarot card, do a tarot reading. I said, I don't know how to. I said, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. So she'll just do it. She'll fall for it anyway. So I did. I sat with her. And I knew the patterns, I knew the form to do, and there's different ways of doing it. And I think I did one of the most basic ones. And everything I said, I completely made up, everything. And she sat there, and she was spellbound, and she was like, I was coming up with people's names and connections, family connections, and something's just happened here. I can't even remember what the hell bullshit I came out with, but whatever it was, and once I start talking, I can't stop. So I just bamboozled her with all this stuff, but she was good. And the girl I was seeing was sitting there, and she was looking at her, going like, he's good. How does he know? He's good. And I was thinking, like, is this a setup? Is this just trying to blow smoke up my arse? I thought, is this like reverse? I think she's falling for this, but really I'm falling for her, who's faking the fact that she's massively into it and like wowed by what I'm coming out with, all these proclamations and revelations and intuition. And but she loved it that much, and of course I tried to make everything optimistic, and because I didn't want to say, oh, by the way, you'll be dead within a week, And weirdly, no, she wasn't. She survived. But she then said, look, we've got other people who'd love this. We'll pay you. So was only young. I was getting paid to do little readings. I'm confessing it now. To do readings, I didn't know shit all about it. I was making everything up. And but I think I only saw about another 5 people, all in this cluster of mates, all girls, like, who were just like, God, you can see that? Wow. I mean, the major thing is, no one ever, I still saw some of these people, over a year or 2 later, and none of them ever came back and said, like, oh, by the way, you were full of shit. I didn't win a car, I didn't go to Monaco, nothing like that ever happened. I haven't been in a plane yet since you told me not to fly, you bastard. But what I'm saying is, like, people who do this sort of thing, it's just, in a lot of cases, it works both ways. It's the teller being really confident and brazen and seemingly compassionate, interested and benevolent, and the person who's having the fortune being told, who's having the reading, so just wanting to believe, and they're so genuinely just, their walls have completely collapsed. Anything you say to them, they're taking it on board, and they'll find the connections, they'll make it relevant to themselves, and then in some kind of perverse cosmic sort of joke, these things will probably happen because they're willing it on themselves, because they've been told it, so it's going to happen. So even if it happens in a sort of a slight variation, or even dramatically different, oh, don't worry, prosperity's coming your way, and they go outside, there's a penny on the street. How did he know? Because I fucking put it there. I knew you'd find it. But people, they are gullible, and they will fall for this sort of thing. But in many ways, it's because are they weak? Are they sheep? Are they sheeple? They're just clinging. Someone has to tell them something. They can't make up their own minds. They need to be told. They need to have some kind of guidance, some instruction. Well, many people do. People who have psychological problems, mental health issues, obviously need some kind of guidance. And I'm not advocating reading tarot cards for people in that scenario. Genuinely, I'm not, folks. But it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The gullible are led by the plausible and the confident and the boisterous. If you put your trust in someone, then they automatically become a bit more boosted and a bit more believable and a bit more, they believe in themselves. And the more they believe in themselves, the more the victim, as they're often called, will believe it too. It's crazy stuff, isn't it? Crazy stuff. So folks, this video was mainly about the alignment of the planets, which I'm very interested in. So I think I hadn't actually known about this. It got announced on TV before, and then I quickly, I did some reading on it. And it's all of June. It's every single day of June. But you've got to get up before dawn, a good half hour before dawn, and just, if you're in the northern hemisphere, then you look to the east, but southeasterly. So, and you can't miss it. These are planets you can see with the naked eye. Obviously, if you've got binoculars or a telescope, it's going to look even better again, or if you've got a spaceship of your own, you can go out there and go, do you know what? The closer you get, the less they look like they're in alignment. I can just see the big gaps between them all now. The further away you are, in fact, if you go further out to the edge of our solar system and you look that same way, they might just form one big dot. Because they'll all be behind each other. I don't know. Cheers, y'all. So, anyway, what do you think about that then? There's a little bit of food for thought there. Planets and alignments, do you give a shit? Astrology, is it bullshit? Fortune tellers, are they full of shit? No, they're not. Some definitely, because I do believe that some people have the ability of foresight and can read elements which we are not all open to them, but some are susceptible and can pick up wavelengths, things that may have happened behind the scenes, things that may be happening elsewhere which you can't see, things that may be yet to pass. I do believe in it. There's so much stuff I believe in, mate. I'm open to everything. Anyway, folks, so comment below, let me know your thoughts on the planets, the stars, alignments, weirdness, astrology, and why the hell that fortune teller would refuse to read me. Why was that? Why was that? I've got no, I'm not going to tell you this story right now. No, there's another really, really eerie thing that happened again down south in this country. But remind me, I'll tell you about that another time. But that was strange. It's actually quite threatening as well. And to this day, I actually had nightmares about this for a good while afterwards. I say nightmares. I had dreams which troubled me. They didn't wake up in a cold sweat and, oh Jesus no, and they weren't exactly flashbacks recalling the incidents, but they were definitely linked to it. Now you want to know, don't you? No, that'll be another video. Anyway, folks, I have been over Shabby Kilt-Man, so please keep it Kiltic, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all. Well, you tell me. Can you foretell? Yeah. I'm going to see you all later. The planets, the stars. What is it? I'm just interested in Uranus.